What's up, boys? Just wanted to hop on another live stream today. Let me just make sure everything is good and working. Yep, there you go. Um, Perfect. Let's pop up. Pop it up here. Is that it? Sorry, boys. Just bear with me for a second. So that. There we go. There we go. Just set a little bit of a goal there. Sorry, boys. I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right. What's up, boys? Just decided to hop on a little bit of a live stream again. Why not? See how the people are doing. See if you guys have any questions, anything new. Not too much news from yesterday. Honestly, almost no news, but there's a couple things that we can talk about, I guess. But yeah, I guess I'll wait a couple more seconds, see if anyone joins in this live stream. Let's see. That plops up on the side. All right. Let's see. Let's. All right. Yeah. Let's just get into it. So obviously, as we talked about a little bit yesterday, if you guys haven't, if you guys weren't in the live stream yesterday, maybe you don't know, but we talked a little bit about this upcoming Bakau card, and yeah, I mean, I'll just go through my picks quickly again for anyone new joining here. Roundtree, Bahamundes, Blades, Orabai, Sadikov, Naimov, Elliott, Park. Skip over this a little bit, and Tajir, as well as Muhammad Usman. So some underdogs, I guess, but not many. But yeah, but we already talked about that a little bit before. If you guys have any questions about UFC Bakau, betting wise, or even just any questions on who I think may win certain fights, just be sure to let me know. But yeah, what else we have? Here we go. We got the rankings here. We're getting everything set up. But here's some news from yesterday. We have a new fight announcement: Sergey Pavlovich versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. I think actually, I mean, yesterday I was matchmaking a little bit for each division, and I was talking about the heavyweight division. I think I may have matched that up. I don't know if I did or not, but I was matchmaking for the heavyweight division, really for all divisions. But when I was talking about heavyweight, I believe I matched up Sergey versus Cortez Acosta, but I'm not 100% sure on that. But yeah, so we got that. A little bit of news there. Here, of course, we have Conor getting his first knockout in a while. There's Connor. Shocking movement or moment, not movement. Shocking moment. I don't think it's very shocking to anybody that knows Connor, but yeah, we got a little bit of that action. So yeah, I mean, kind of slow news day to be honest. Um, but but yeah, I mean, it's not too much going on, I guess. But if you guys have any questions about any fights, anything at all, definitely let me know. I'll be sure to answer. But yeah, I mean, we got a couple of good cards coming up here. We have UFC Bakau this upcoming weekend. I think I'm actually going to do a watch along for this card. So this is an early one. This starts at 3. The main card starts at 3. So I think I may live stream the main card. Maybe the prelims if there's interest in it. Let me know if you guys want to see the prelims as well. But I think I'm going to start live streaming at 3 p.m. Eastern and watch some of these fights together and break them down live. So that should be fun. Excited about that. But yeah, also of course after this we have UFC 317, really good card. Ilya Charles, Pantoja, KKF, Royval, Josh Van, Dariush Moicano. It seems like since this fight's canceled, maybe they're going to add another fight. I know it's kind of short notice at this point. I don't even know if the UFC cares that much, but they might need to add another fight, or they should definitely add another fight to this card. At least one of value. But yeah, oh Joshua, welcome back. Joshua says for Pavlovich, rooting for Pavlovich. Yeah, I agree. I was actually big into Pavlovich originally when he was just knocking guys out, and it's not that I'm not a fan anymore. It just seems like my expectations were probably a little bit too high, but I still am a fan of him. Very fan friendly style. And for Salsa Boy, I never thought he was good. The only good thing about him is he hits hard and he's athletic. But in terms of like skill or anything, I don't know. I didn't really think much was there. And even in his last fight, I thought he may have lost. Actually, I think he did lose against it's one of the blobs. Was it this card? No, definitely not. It was this card. Who did he lose to? Um, prelims, I guess. He lost to Sergey Spivak. I mean, he beat Sergey Spivak, but I thought Sergey Spivak probably won that fight. But yeah, as I said, for Cortez Acosta, I kind of just see him as like I don't think he's that good. I just think he has success in the heavyweight division because the heavyweight division's so bad, and also because he's athletic and hits hard. I think that goes a long way for him in that division. But but really not much news. You guys, I guess we might as well plop up full screen at this point. You guys have any questions about any upcoming fights or anything? I see we got some people rolling in now, so welcome to anybody joining in. Let's see, can I? Okay, there we go. All right. But yeah, I mean, not too much news coming up, as I said, but watch along on Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern. So be sure to be there, watch some fights with us, and we'll be talking about it a little bit. Thank you. Um, but yeah. Jesus. But yeah. Sorry. So what else we got here? So we got Dariush coming up against Moicano. That's an interesting fight. We got Josh Van. By the way, actually, I have a question. Have you guys, for the guys who are that are subscribed that are in the chat right now, did you guys get an alert or anything for the new video that I posted? I posted a new video today, and it doesn't seem like it's getting out to people. I know my channel is a little bit smaller and probably just takes a little bit more time than some others, but it doesn't seem like it's getting out to people. But anyways, didn't see it, and you guys enjoy Joshua Van or would like to watch a video about him, here we go. I just posted a Joshua Van video today. and yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely be sure to check that out. I'm just curious because kind of feels like it didn't really get pushed out too much, um, but yeah, it's all right. Um, but yeah, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Mm, We got we got some new fights we didn't talk about yesterday. So this weekend we got UFC Bakau. The weekend after that we have UFC 317. We talked about both of those cards in depth, to be honest, yesterday. The week after that we have Lewis and Teixeira. I actually made a video about this already that I think Teixeira is going to win, but Derek Lewis is always live with that power, obviously. But some other fights we have on this card are, let me just pull this up actually. Some other fights we have on this card are we have Wonderboy Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfim. That's honestly an interesting fight. We have a little bit of an older guy in Wonderboy Thompson versus a relatively new, young up and comer against Gabriel Bonfim. I know a lot of people are high on Bonfim. He's very athletic. His jiu-jitsu is really good. He has a really good guillotine choke. But I don't know. I mean, he is definitely very good, but I think there could be potential that he has some struggle in this fight versus Wonderboy Thompson. I don't know what the odds are or if the odds are even out on this fight, but I think Wonderboy might be live. But yeah, I kind of lean Wonderboy a little bit, but if that fight goes to the ground, he's probably getting submitted. So we'll see. But on the feet, I mean, Bonfim, I don't think he's the most technical guy. He doesn't have too much on the feet, but what he does well is just utilize his athleticism and he hits like relatively hard. So that's how he can get away with it. And if, as I said, if he gets that fight to the ground, he's getting that submission a lot of the time. So, and he's also coming off a decent fight, a decent performance. Um, so yeah. Besides that, we have Calvin Kattar and Steve Garcia. That should be a really good one actually. Garcia really goes for it in all of his fights that he's in. And Calvin Kattar, I mean, he's been in like a couple performances where it hasn't been great. Obviously, all remember the Max Holloway performance where he got essentially dominated for the entire fight. But Cater's a really good striker. Garcia's a good striker. Garcia really goes for it, and I think Cater's going to be willing to oblige and go for it as well. So I think that could be a really good fight. Then we got he changed his name. Austin Lane changed his name. Interesting. Unless it's the wrong picture because that's Austin Lane's picture. But I'm assuming it is. That's interesting. And also, Petrino moved up to heavyweight. That's also interesting. Two new things I didn't know about. Yeah, this is an interesting fight, I guess. I don't think either one of these guys are good. The thing about Austin Lane, I'm just gonna call him, is I mean, he has the power, he has the speed, he has all the physical tools on the feet. I truly do believe that. The problem with him is he has no defense and he just can't avoid shots. He's always going to take that one big shot and he's going to get knocked out. He has a decent ability to wrestle, I guess I would say, but for the most part, he's not going to survive a 3-round fight, to be honest. And when you're talking about a guy like Petrino who has a ton of power, I think eventually he's going to be able to land. I don't think Petrino is super technical or anything, but when you're fighting Austin Lane, you don't really need to be. Just throw out a bunch of shots, wait for one shot to land, and once that shot lands, he's probably going out at that point. So definitely would lean with Petrino in this fight, but interesting. He's moving up and he changed his name. Very interesting. Unless it's the wrong picture, but I don't know, DeJuan Lin or DeJan, whatever. It's definitely Austin Lane. So, anyways, then we got Junior Tafa versus Tukos. I think both these guys stink, to be honest. Am I really gonna lean towards Junior Tafa? I don't know. Probably not. Hope Wonderboy can get a win. We need him versus MVP before he retires. I agree. I would love that fight, but the only problem with Wonderboy versus MVP is there's been some rumors about it in the past. These guys do not want to fight each other. And also, I fear that if they did, it wouldn't be a fun performance from either guy. Just because they have like, not I wouldn't say similar styles, but they have styles that wouldn't be fun if they went up against each other. They're just like they're both just very good at striking and know angles and essentially know what the other guy's doing. So I almost see that as a fight that just wouldn't be exciting whatsoever. It would kind of just be like a sparring match. Because a lot of times when you see guys going in there that have trained together extensively, a lot of times those fights just don't go well. And I'm not saying that they've trained together extensively or anything like that. I'm sure they have trained together a little bit, but not extensively. But I just think because their styles are so similar, it might not be super fun. But if they were able to just, go for it, I think it could be a great fight. So that's something interesting, Joshua. Oh, this card is really good, man. I'm gonna be honest. I know this is not in the Apex, so that definitely helps. So we have Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. Definitely lean Chris Curtis in this fight. I think I think he's going to be able to close the distance, get on that inside, land that left hand, and just put on boxing combinations on Max Griffin. I always thought Chris Curtis was a pretty decent fighter. The problem with Chris Curtis is if you have any movement at all, he's going to struggle with you. And he just gets frustrated in the fight once his opponent does move a little bit, and I think we see that a lot in a lot of his fights. But for in terms of Max Griffin, I don't think he's going to move too much. I think Chris Curtis is going to be able to cut off the cage a little bit better against a guy like Max Griffin. And once he's in that inside boxing range, I actually think Chris Curtis is a pretty dangerous and pretty effective fighter once he's able to get inside that boxing range. So yeah, that's interesting. We got Chidi against Jake Matthews. This should be a banger, actually. Chidi really goes for it. Sometimes, actually, not always, but but there have been performances where he really went for it. And Jake Matthews is a relatively exciting fighter. Definitely lean Chidi in this fight, but should be a fun one. And then we got this. Ooh, uh, missing out on a good fight here. That sucks that it got canceled. This would have been a really fun fight. Um, anyways, but yeah, that's what we got there. Now we got what the fuck? What the hell's going on here? Oh, is that true? Is he on this card? Oh, maybe that's what it was. Okay. Interesting two-fight main card of UFC 318. That's interesting. Um, but let me see something over here. Let's see. Let's see. How did I do that before? There we go. But yeah, anyway, so this is messed up, obviously, but it's good to see that they put this fight back together. I guess it's on UFC 318. And then some of these fights are on the main card. Oh my god, this is a great fight. Vinicius Oliveira versus Kyle Phillips. That's gonna be a really fun fight. I'm really high on Oliveira, by the way. What do you think about the Abu Dhabi card? It's amazing. It's really good. Yeah, they loaded all them in here. This is an amazing card, actually. The main event is really good. DeRitter and Whitaker. I know a lot of people say Whitaker may be done, washed at this point. Maybe he is. We'll see. This will be the test. We'll see how he looks against DeRitter. But I also think DeRitter is just a severely underrated fighter, and I think he's really good. He has that weird style, not exactly the same as Dricus, but you know, similarities, I guess, where they kind of just fight their own way and have success with it. And because of that, a lot of guys, a lot of fans think that they're not good. But I think DeRitter is actually very good. I think there's a lot of things that he does that are very effective and a lot of things to like about his game. So I would think I honestly would lean DeRitter a little bit, but we'll see. Obviously, Whitaker has amazing takedown defense. Obviously, he's been super successful at the middleweight division, and RDR kind of just got here. But he's also a former two-time champion in another organization, so we'll see. Obviously, he does have a lot of skill. We'll see what happens there. This is a banger fight. As I talked about yesterday, I thought Evloev definitely should have gotten a title shot at this point. I mean, how many times does he have to fight before he gets a title shot? But whatever, they decide to go in a different direction. It's probably going to be Yair Rodriguez for whatever reason. But regardless, this is a really good fight. We got Aaron Pico coming in. He's a really exciting and entertaining fighter. And I think he's a guy who definitely could beat Evloev for sure. But we'll see what happens in that one. That should be a really good one, actually. I know some of Evloev's fights have been boring, but when you look at his fight against Aljamain Sterling, it was mostly wrestling, but I thought it was really good. The scrambles were fun to watch, and even some of his other fights have been pretty good. So I definitely think this fight versus Pico is going to be a good one. We have Shara versus Marc-Andre Barrio. I'm really not a fan of Shara. I really don't think he's good, but Marc-Andre Barrio is also not great. I don't know. We'll see. Can Marc-Andre figure it out? Maybe not. Probably not. Shara's probably going to win this fight. But but I'm not too high on him at all. But anyways, after that we have Krylov and Guskov. That's also a really good fight, actually. Okay, so Krylov is fighting. I didn't know that actually. Um, that should be a really good one. I think I lean. Well, not I think. I definitely lean with Krylov in this fight. I think Krylov has a lot of skill. The only problem with him is he just doesn't fight too much. But I guess now he's starting to be a little bit more active. Um, he's actually just coming off a knockout loss, I believe, to let's see, to Dominic Reyes, I think. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, that was a weird fight for Krylov. He was just essentially sprinting forward, and it seemed like he wanted to get knocked out. He was sprinting forward, throwing punches with no defense against Dominic Reyes. Interesting game plan for sure, um, but yeah, it's something. Okay, we got Almabayev and Tamirov. That should be a good one. I think I'm leading Almabayev. He really goes for it in a lot of his fights, or really all of his fights, but he's good. I think he is really good. So that should be a good one. This card is actually like really good. Ebo Islan, I don't think Ebo's too good. But he is exciting. He does go for it. So we'll see what happens in that fight. Peter Yan versus Marcus McGee is probably the weirdest matchmaking I've ever seen. I thought when they put when they put Sean O'Malley against Jan, when Sean O'Malley had no wins, ranked wins at that point, he went up against one guy, Pedro Munoz, who was the number 10th ranked guy, I believe. But that was it. He has no ranked wins at all. And then they put him up against Peter Yan. Obviously, it turned out to be a good move because Sean proved that he was on that level. He had a lot of success. Whether or not you thought Sean won that fight, he proved that he's on that level at the very least. But I don't see the same happening with Marcus McGee. McGee, I mean, he's all right. He's not a bad fighter. I think he has good skill, but I don't think he's on that level of a top 5 guy or a guy who can beat Peter Yan. I don't think he is now, and I also don't think he ever will be. So kind of interesting matchmaking, but if Jan wins, I guess. I mean, I thought you probably could have given him a title shot over Sean. Not probably, definitely could have given him a title shot over Sean without fighting at all. But now that he's fighting Marcus McGee, I mean, I think he will beat him. And if he does beat him, then yeah, I don't know. Then you give him a title shot off a Marcus McGee win. I mean, I guess I don't really know who else would deserve it more than he would. So that's interesting. Then you have Bryce Mitchell. This is a new announcement, I believe. I saw this today. Bryce Mitchell versus Said Nurmagomedov. This is a good fight. Said Nurmagomedov, he's got a really good ninja choke, and then he's just a striker. He's a ninja. He's a guy with a ninja choke and a striker. That's really what he does. So if Bryce can cut off the cage a little bit and take him down, that's really Bryce's world, and I think he could have a lot of success. But the thing about Nurmagomedov is he is very explosive and very athletic, and guys like that tend to give some trouble to Bryce Mitchell. But if Bryce can survive early, cut off the cage, go for takedowns against Nurmagomedov, get him down to the ground on his back, maybe land some ground and pound shots, maybe goes for some submissions. That's really his path to victory. But for Nurmagomedov, his path to victory is just being explosive, landing those big shots on Bryce, and hope to find an early knockout on him. But interesting fight. I think I lean Bryce Mitchell in that particular matchup. How do you think Bryce will look at bantamweight? Um, I think it's probably a better weight class for him. Um, he was always a little bit small for 145, I thought. Um, so yeah, I mean, moving down, we'll see how the weight cut is. We of course, when someone's moving down a weight class, you never know how that weight cut's going to look. Is his chin going to be shot? Is yeah, is his cardio going to be shot? Of course, we don't know. We'll see what happens. But let me just do that. There we go. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think he looks fine at 135. He was never a big 145er, so I think he looks fine there, to be completely honest. But yeah, overall, this card, Joshua, is a really good card. I mean, listen, as I touched upon before, I do criticize the UFC a little bit for some of these cards, but this stretch, man, this is really good. Even including this card, I thought this was decent on paper. Obviously, it turned out to be a terrible card. The main event was good, and even the co-main event was pretty good, I thought. But outside of that, The Shabazian fight was horrible. This Cody Garbrandt fight was so winnable for him. He just let it go away. This Mansoor fight was terrible. The Alonzo fight was terrible. This was just a weird one. This is like obvious acting in that fight. I thought, at least. The Chiesa fight was just two old men fighting. It wasn't that good. Mel Wellmaker was that was a good performance. Good win for him. This is also a really good performance for Ochoa. Good win for him. This one was okay, I guess. It wasn't super exciting. This one was a good fight. Phil Rowe. This one was okay, I guess. But the point is, on paper, I thought was a pretty good card, but in reality, it didn't turn out to be good. But when you look at some of these cards coming up, you talk about the Roundtree card. I think this is a really good one. Good main card. Honestly, pretty good prelims as well. But then when you go to 317, obviously this is an amazing card. Ilya Charles is an amazing fight. Pantoja KKF, really good fight. Van Royval, good fight. Dariush Moicano, good fight. Then you look at the prelims. Even G-Rod Hermanson, I think that's a decent fight. Teresa Cortez, fine. And Tafa. There's some fights that are not loaded in on this thing, but we probably have a couple other fights. And I think they're going to have to add another fight to replace this one, the Paulo Costa versus Kopylov fight. But the point is, Roundtree card's good. 317 is good. This Teixeira card is good. 318 is, I would say it's pretty solid. Yeah, I don't know what they messed this up, but this is pretty solid. I mean, Vittori, Brandon Allen is an all right fight. Phillips versus Oliveira, I think, is actually a good one. Ferreira versus Ikram, I think that's a good one. Crude versus Prakia, whatever. That's kind of like a whatever fight. Magny versus Gunner, that's whatever. I mean, not super, super stacked, but definitely some good fights on this card. And obviously, Dustin versus Holloway, although probably doesn't make the most sense in the world for either guy moving up in within the rankings. I know Dustin's retiring, but but either way, it's going to be a banger. Both of these guys are going to go for it. Holloway and Dustin are both incapable of putting on a boring fight. So when you match these guys up together, I think you're always going to get a really exciting fight. Joshua said, how are the toughest still in the UFC? Honestly, I have no idea. I have no clue. I have no clue, but especially Junior Tafa. I think he's terrible. He got submitted in his last fight. I think that was his last fight. All right, this is the career of Junior Tafa. In the Usman fight, he got taken down against Muhammad Usman. He got taken down 50 times and lost the fight on his back. In his next fight, I think it was his next fight against I might be missing some here, but at least to my knowledge. Then his next fight after that, actually, why am I doing this off memory? Let's go to Junior Tafa. Let's go throughout his fights. Here we go. So, yeah, here we go. So he started his career against Muhammad Usman. He got taken down like 50 times in that fight against Muhammad Usman, not Kamaru. Muhammad Usman, and he was on his back the entire fight. Then he got a first-round KO over Parker Porter. Congratulations, amazing win. Whatever. Then in his next fight, he got submitted by Volter Walker. It was a heel hook. And after he got submitted, he was just pissed and threw a fit that he got submitted. It was very odd to see. Then after that, he got a second round KO against a guy who's 4-1 in the UFC. I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. He wasn't very good. And it took him 2 rounds to do it. And then that's it, actually. Yeah, so that's his career. Very interesting career, I guess I'll say, for Junior Tafa. So yeah, I don't really know how he's in the UFC still. But yeah, this is weird. They tried to put this together back in May. It fell through, and they're really wanting to put this fight back together. That's interesting. Listen, I don't hate Junior Tafa. I just don't think he's very good. But at least for Justin Tafa, at least for him, at least he has some sort of entertainment factor. He's able to get those KOs, those exciting KOs. But for Junior Tafa, there's like really nothing there. He can't stop leg kicks. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, that's why I thought I was missing something here. No, one of his fights is not here. Oh, here we go. There we go. This is the one fight that I wanted to talk about. This is the one of the weirdest things. Junior Tafa is known as a guy that was a kickboxer before he came to train MMA and came to the UFC. But he goes up against a guy in Lima who was kicking his legs off. It seemed like Tafa had no idea how to stop the leg kicks, and eventually he got finished in that second round based on leg kicks. So that was really weird to see. So yeah, Junior Tafa is definitely interesting, I'll say, to say the least. But but yeah, I don't know. What can you say? But yeah, as I said, but at least for Justin Tafa though, um, yeah, at least he has the ability to knock guys out, and he's has the ability to be exciting. But anyways, I got sidetracked a little bit. So yeah, UFC 318 is decent. This fight night is really good, actually, arguably better than some pay per views. Then after that, we go back to the Apex, and we got the BS. But this stretch though, for the next few weeks, what we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, for the next 5 weeks, a little bit over a month, we have really good cards every week, which is really good to see. We really needed it. I mean, when you look at some of the other cards this year, it's been brutal. It's really been brutal. Tough year to be a UFC fan this year. So uh, at least we're getting some good fights coming up. So that should be good. Um, what else we got? What else do we got here? Yes, we got those cards coming up. Those are all good ones. We got more videos coming out this week. We got a video coming out on Friday, so that should be good. It's actually a breakdown of the Bakau card. I know I talked about it a little bit already on this live stream and a couple others about the main event, but I'll have an in-depth breakdown coming out on Friday about Roundtree and Jamal Hill. So be on the lookout for that for sure. That should be good. That should be exciting. What else we got here? We got a couple guys on Kick. That's good. What's up to my people on Kick? On X, let's see what do we got here. What do we got? We got some people on X. What's going on, boys? But yeah. If you guys have any questions, just be sure to let me know. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a little bit of a problem with the UFC. There's obviously always things to talk about. There's always new fights getting announced, new cards getting put together. But yeah, we'll see. Tal says if Hill wins, it will be by KO or decision. Yeah. Well, yeah, definitely. It'll be by KO or decision. I think if Jamal Hill wins, it's probably going to be by KO. I don't think he's the most technical fighter in the world. So I don't know if he's going to be able to, outpoint Khalil Roundtree for a full 5 rounds. And if he is able to land and he is able to drop Khalil Roundtree, I think he's going to finish him from that point. Yeah, if he's going to land, he's going to find a finish. And outside of that, I don't really see him, just moving his way around the octagon and having success like that. But yeah, it should be good. It's a good call out though. It definitely will be by KO or decision. That's for sure. But yeah, I do lean Khalil Roundtree in that fight. I definitely do. What else we got here? So, so we got the Conor thing. Let's take a little look at Twitter or X. Let's see what's going on. Do we got anything coming up? Let's see. Van versus Royval. Brandon, I thought Royval would be a bigger favorite. Yeah, I talked about this a little bit yesterday, Tell. Mikkel. I honestly do lean Van a little bit, but I mean I get where you're coming from. Royval is the number one contender. He is a lot more well established. He is very good. There's a lot of things to his game that are very good and a lot of things to worry about for Joshua Van. I think the length is going to be something to worry about for Van. I think that left hand is certainly going to be something to worry about for Van. But I don't know. I just think Van is honestly just that good. And although he hasn't been tested to the level of a guy like Royval, at least yet, as of yet, I don't think it's going to be too big to overcome for Joshua Van. I think he's going to be able to pressure Royval. I think he's going to be able to land those body shots, be able to land those hooks up top. And I think Van is going to be able to, I don't know if he's going to be able to find a finish, probably not, but I think he's going to be able to find a victory. In the end. But of course, with that being said, Royval is very established. He's the number one contender, and he's beaten a lot of good guys. I mean, he even beat Moreno. It was a weird fight for Moreno, I will say, when he fought Royval. It kind of seemed like something was off, or maybe Moreno was about to retire. He was really slowing down, and then in Moreno's next fight, he looked amazing against Steve Erceg. So I don't really know what happened in that Royval fight, but regardless, Royval was able to beat Moreno, which is a huge win for him. And even besides that, he has had a bunch of wins throughout his not bantamweight, his 125-pound career, flyweight career. So let's see. I could see knees being a good weapon for Royval. Yeah, I would agree actually. A shorter opponent, especially in that boxing stance with his head a little bit lower. And he also does tend to duck down. Van, I'm talking about. Van does definitely tend to duck down a little bit when his opponents throw shots at him. Yeah, I mean, he has a decent ability to move his head side to side, but sometimes he does dip his head. So when he's dipping his head, I could certainly see Royval throwing up a couple knees. He definitely has done that in the past and found finishes. So definitely against a shorter opponent once again. In Joshua Van, I think those knees could be effective. Maybe even some uppercuts that he throws in there for Royval. But yeah, Royval, I think key to success for him is just staying at range, utilizing that jab, utilizing that long left straight. And for Van, pressure. Get Royval alongside the cage. Start to pile up those body shots. Start to pile up those hooks to the head. And if he's able to do that, I think he's going to win. But yeah, that's it's a really good fight. It sucks that we're not getting Manel Kape fighting because he's always an entertaining fighter at 125. And I also think one more win for Manel Kape, he gets a title shot. But at least we're getting a really fun replacement, Van versus Royval. So that's just definitely good. The current meta is low key more technical version of Sprawl and Brawl. Yeah. Yeah, in the current meta, low-key, a more technical version of Sprawl and Brawl. Yeah, it is more technical. I mean, listen, guys are always making adjustments. There's always like a new wave of how to stop these guys. I mean, listen, when you look back and you saw Khabib, obviously he was an insanely dominant wrestler. And listen, Khabib's better than a lot of these guys that we're seeing now. But regardless, when you see a lot of these guys, like even Islam or some other like really dominant wrestlers outside of Hamzat's the only guy. But when you talk about a lot of these guys, even if they do have great wrestling pedigrees, once they're moving up the ranks, we're seeing guys just make it much more difficult. They're stopping takedowns, and even when they're going to the ground, they're getting right back up. I mean, look at Volkanovski. Volkanovski is obviously an all-time great, but when he went up against Islam really wasn't able to take him down. And the couple of occasions where he did, Volk was able to get right back up. So there's a lot of guys are just consistently getting better. And there's a lot new metas that a lot of these guys are implementing within their games. And, the level of competition is just getting higher and higher. I think at this point we are in somewhat of a situation where these guys are getting so good that a lot of times you see fights that are pretty even. And sometimes, when you talk about two really good fighters going up against each other, sometimes it's not the most exciting fight because both of these guys are so good. I think we're a little bit, not too much, but I think we're a little bit in that realm where there's a couple fights that are like, okay, this is going to be a banger. Both of these guys usually put on great performances. They go in there against each other and it's not that exciting of a fight. But I think that honestly speaks to the level of of fighting that these guys are getting to. These guys are making improvements everywhere. Outside of Alex Pereira and maybe a couple others, and even Alex Pereira, he even improved his takedown defense. But most of these guys have the ability to do everything, and the next iteration of that is all these guys are able to do everything, and they're really good at doing everything: striking, wrestling, jujitsu, whatever. They have the ability to do everything now. And as I said, besides Alex Pereira, who's mostly just a striker, and he gets away with it because he's so good with his striking game, a lot of these guys really look to implement a lot of things within their game, and they're able to do everything out there. I mean, just look at some of the champions. Dricus, he's able to strike on the feet at a very high level and have a ton of success. He's able to wrestle. He's also able to submit guys. We saw it a bunch of times. He has pretty good jujitsu, I would say. So there's a lot to like with Dricus. Even Hamzat. Hamzat has insane wrestling, but he's not just a wrestler. He also has the ability to submit guys. Has great jujitsu, great control on the feet. He even has decent striking. I think Hamzat's striking is a little bit underrated, to be completely honest. I definitely think there's a lot to like with him. But just looking at some other guys, let's take a quick look. Just looking at some other guys, Pantoja on the feet, he's not like super polished, but he gets away with it because he has a good amount of power, a good amount of physicality, and he does have some skill on the feet. But also, of course, on the ground, this guy's elite. His jiu-jitsu is elite, honestly. One of the best I've seen in the entire UFC, to be completely honest. Merab, I mean, Merab's obviously a great wrestler. He's improving that as time does progress, but also on the feet, he's also even, improving his striking game. I think in the Sean O'Malley fight, we saw that. He was landing on Sean O'Malley. Sean, for all the criticism that he takes and all the criticism that he gets, Sean is still a really good striker, and just seeing Merab being able to strike with that guy at an effective level was definitely something to see, and just shows how much better these guys are getting. And obviously, Volkanovski goes without saying. This guy's an amazing striker, an amazing wrestler. Even has pretty good jiu-jitsu as well. Islam, same thing, really good striker, definitely underrated. And on the ground, this guy's elite. Even JDM, I mean, JDM is mostly a striker out there, but we're seeing an improvement within his wrestling. And even jiu-jitsu, he's shown decent jiu-jitsu in the past. He's submitted a couple guys in the past as well. So JDM is not just a boxer out there. There's more to his game. And as I said, Dricus I already talked about. Magomed Ankalaev, he's also a guy that's versatile, good striking and decent wrestling. John Jones obviously could do everything, but he's retired at this point, or essentially retired at this point. But yeah, I mean, as you said, that's really the new wave. These guys are just making improvements to everything and getting good at everything. And at this point, it's not just good at everything; it's great at everything. And guys are just consistently making improvements day by day, but year by year. And I think we're going to start to see new metas come about. New metas that take the UFC by storm. A certain technique, a certain way of fighting that appears to be very successful. I mean, one of the metas that's not the most entertaining is holding guys alongside the cage. Guys, I talked about this a little bit yesterday. Guys work a lot on their takedown defense, stopping takedowns, and that's the end of it for them. Just stop the takedown and then get back to space and get back to what you want to do. But a lot of times, at least lately, what we're seeing is with Jose Aldo versus Batista, or even Merab versus Jose Aldo as well, or some other guys, even Pereira versus Ankalaev, we're seeing these guys go for takedowns. Their opponents are able to stop the takedowns, but they're not able to get off the cage. And but they're not able to get off the cage. And because of that, they're still winning the fight. Their backs against the wall. Can you sing my happy birthday to my brother Nick? Yes, I know you're trying to do, but happy birthday, Nick. But anyways, but yeah, so their backs alongside the cage, and they're just getting pressed along the cage. Yes, they're not getting taken down, but it's not over. Like you still got to move off the cage and get back to space to have success. You're still on the defense if you're alongside the cage. So I think that's one of the new metas that we're seeing. It's unfortunate because it's not super exciting to watch, but guys are gonna improve, make an adjustment, actually work on getting off the cage. I mean, I'm sure they've done it in the past, but maybe work a little bit more on that. And yeah, so yeah, those are just a couple new metas that I think we're seeing. What are some other metas? Let me think a little bit. Some other new metas. I don't know if I would consider this a meta per se, but a new technique that we see some guys using is the Leon is the Leon combo, or same side punch. So maybe a right straight followed by a right left, or a right not right left, followed by a right high kick. A little goat. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. But yeah, so I guess that's a technique that we're starting to see a little bit here and there. TJ Dillashaw did that a lot. Yeah, that's true. He did actually. You're right. Wait, are you talking about pushing people alongside the cage, or the Leon combo? Because pushing guys alongside the cage, I remember him doing it once. He did it, but he had a torn ACL in that fight. The kick, yeah, yeah, you're right. But yeah, he had that one fight where he blew out his knee against Sanhagen, and he held him alongside the cage, and he won based on that. A lot of people thought Sanhagen should have won. He probably should have, to be honest. But regardless, I mean, you got to get off the cage, right? And he was on defense most of that fight. But yeah, that kick, that same side kick off same side punch, definitely was something used by TJ Dillashaw for sure. Yeah, I mean, listen, the early days of 135 was amazing. There was a lot to like. There was a lot to like for sure. Thoughts on JDM Islam? I've got JDM seems like a bigger, more well-rounded version. I've done some with, yeah. Yeah, I guess it is maybe a little bit of MMA math. But no, listen, I have a video about this, going a little bit more in depth if you guys want to check that out. But just giving you a quick cliff notes. I am with you. I do lean JDM, to be completely honest. Listen, Islam is really good, and there's a lot to like about him. His wrestling is really good, and even on the feet, as I touched upon before, he is underrated. I'm not going to say that he's not, but the thing about, sorry, let me just let's pull that up. There we go. But the thing about him is, um, he's probably gonna. He's used to being bigger than most of his opponents. You talk about Volkanovski, even Oliveira. I mean, Oliveira is actually pretty big, but in that fight when he went up against Islam, Islam definitely has a lot more muscle mass to him. So even technically there, he was probably a little bit bigger. And besides that, what are some other fights he went up against? Dustin, he was a little bit bigger than Dustin, not too much of a difference there, I guess. But my point is, Islam is bigger than most of his opponents that he goes up against, and in this fight versus JDM, he's going to be smaller than JDM. So I do agree with you. I think the size difference is probably going to be a big adjustment for Islam. And in terms of JDM himself, he has great boxing. I think on the feet, if Islam is stuck on the feet with JDM, he's going to have a lot of problems. The way JDM does it is really fun to watch, but honestly is also super effective. He's just able to utilize footwork, get on that inside, and land hooks to the head, body. I mean, we see this a lot of times with guys that have amazing boxing. They're able to get on that inside, land a lot of hooks to the body, hooks to the head, mix it up very nicely, and their opponents just don't really know what to do, and they're not able to react in time, or even get out of the way, or utilize footwork to get out of the way, because they're just dealing with all these shots coming their way. They don't really know what to do. They're kind of just shelling up, and a lot of times that's where we see these guys getting finishes. So yeah, so I definitely think the boxing of JDM is going to be tough. And in terms of his takedown defense, he had a lot of success against Bilal. Yes, I will agree that Bilal didn't shoot as many takedowns as he probably normally would, but at the end of the day, JDM was able to stop those takedowns, and I think that's going to be a really good sign for him going into this Islam fight. Islam's probably a better wrestler, I would agree, but Islam is also going to be smaller than Bilal is, or they're probably similar size, but a little bit smaller maybe. So I do think JDM is going to have a real chance to have success with his takedown defense against Bilal Muhammad for sure. How goofy of a fight would RDR versus DDPV? Honestly, I'm really hoping, I'm praying we see this in the future. That would be so funny. They kind of have like that same plot armor. It seems like both of these guys, they fight in a weird way, but it kind of just like works for them. for Dricus, he has pretty good striking, but it's like weird to watch. And even his wrestling is weird to watch. He falls on his face, gets a takedown, and Izzy submits him 2 seconds after that. Weird to see, but he just like makes it work. And for RDR too, he does like these weird combos that nobody would ever throw, but he lands it. Then he gets a takedown. Then he gets a submission. Just odd to see how these guys fight, but they've been very successful. So, yeah. So I mean, definitely not much you could say there. Dustin tends to use a modified fleet shell or X guard really well defensively, but that's not an option. But that wasn't an option as Islam kept being has a much better sense for taking that. Yeah, I would agree. I actually wholeheartedly agree with that statement. Yeah, I think JDM's boxing stance is going to be well better suited. I think we even saw that in the Bilal fight, that it was really well suited for stopping takedowns. And the thing with Dustin as well is kind of touching upon your point. The thing about Dustin in that fight against Islam, yes, I know a lot of people really enjoyed that fight and thought it was really close. But the thing about Dustin in that fight is he consistently had to worry about that takedown threat. And what we saw with him is he would throw one shot and then immediately look for that takedown. One shot, immediately look for that takedown. I think we saw a little bit of that when JDM fought Bilal, where he was throwing a couple shots and he was, ducking down or lowering his level to expect a takedown. Just in case a takedown was coming his way, he'll be able to stop it. We definitely did see that from JDM, but the difference is, as that fight progressed, we saw JDM get a lot more confident, and he was able to put combinations together. If JDM is fighting at a pace where he's just throwing one shot, lowering his level to stop a potential takedown, one shot doing that, I don't think he's going to have a lot of success against Islam. I think we saw Dustin do that a little bit, where he's throwing one or two shots, lowering his level. Yes, you're going to be able to stop takedowns, or at least a little bit better. But in the end, Dustin still got taken down, and he got submitted in the 5th round, I believe it was. So in my opinion, I think what JDM should do is, yes, obviously be mindful of the takedown, but your best shot is putting combos together and staying on the feet. So don't limit yourself or limit your best ability. I always felt like that. Don't limit your best ability. Let your hands go on the feet. Put combos together. If JDM's putting combos together, he can knock out Islam. I truly believe that. He just needs to get going, and he can't, throw one shot. He's not a one-shot kind of fighter. He's a guy that needs to put things together. I believe he will do that. But it's also definitely something that he needs to do. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. I just think JDM needs to avoid worrying a little bit too much on the takedown defense. If you get taken down, you get taken down. Just stay safe and try to get up. Or if it's late in the round, just ride out the rest of your round on your back. I truly believe that. But on the feet, throwing one shot is not going to be good enough against Islam. I think you're really going to have to put combos together. But as I said, I think JDM will do that. Oh, but yeah, we got some good fights actually coming up. I think Islam tweeted about that just today or the other day. Let's see. He tweeted something about double champ or whatever. So I'm assuming they have that. Yeah, here we go. He posted it yesterday. Yeah, so he just posted this yesterday. Double champ. Everything is just beginning. So I'm sure they know the date of when they're going to fight already, or at least have an idea of where, potentially when they're going to be fighting. So I think we're going to be seeing that a little bit soon. But yeah, what else we got here? Let's bring this up quickly. There we go. Okay. All right. By the way, thank you guys so much for being here. It's really fun to be live streaming, talking to you guys about fights. I know I talk about it a lot of my live streams, but it really is fun, and I really appreciate you guys for being here. And I also appreciate all your guys' questions and comments and everything. It really is really fun to interact with you guys. Obviously, I know I'm a little bit of a smaller channel, but I'm just trying to build. I'm just trying to live stream a little bit more, trying to build a little bit of a community, trying to put some videos together. 2 videos a week at this point, Wednesdays and Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern. But I'm gonna see if I can try to pump out some more videos. But yeah, I'm just hoping we get some good news, something new, something big to talk about. Um, Obviously, we have some big fights already announced, like Dricus and Hamzat. That's going to be a really, really good one. I'm definitely really excited about that fight. Um, but yeah, actually, I mean, I already made a video about it, but maybe I could make another one or talk about it a little bit. But basically, how I feel about that fight, Hamzat versus DDP, is the first round's going to determine it. If Hamzat's able to get a finish in that first round, then I mean, obviously he's going to win. But if Dricus is able to make it out of that first round, I think he has a really good shot at winning. And I not only do I think he has a good shot at winning, I think he has a good shot at finishing Hamzat as well. So that's a really interesting fight. It definitely is the best fight I think the UFC could put together at this point. Um, but yeah, should be a really good one. But for those of you who are in the chat, and if you did see my recent video about Joshua Van, did you guys enjoy the video, or even some other videos? Do you guys enjoy my videos? Do you think I should make any changes to my videos? You guys have any ideas or opinions on video ideas, stuff you want me to talk about in videos? Go a little bit more in depth. I know in these live streams you guys ask questions and I answer, but I guess I could go a little bit more in depth, do a little bit more research, and talk about particular fights or particular topics if you guys are interested in those for sure. But yeah, just let me know. Let's see here. Just a little refresh on the old X. I'm dreading DDP and Hamzat. There's a real chance Hamzat wins. Five months a year and 2 years. I agree with you though. DDP it's the first round. Yeah, that is the risk. Listen, Hamzat is a really exciting fighter, but that is the risk. I mean, listen, the good thing about it though is obviously this fight is going to be in Chicago, so Hamzat is able to come to the U.S. Because once upon a time Hamzat fought twice in 10 days, so I think he has the ability to be active. It's just the thing with Hamzat is before he wasn't able to fight in the U.S., and I think that was a huge reason for why he wasn't active for all that time. But besides that, I think the other issue with him is just getting sick or getting injured, and obviously, it could still happen. Hamzat trains like ridiculously hard, but you would hope at this point, after getting sick and getting injured so many times, it's like, maybe slow it down a little bit. Obviously, still train consistently and whatever, but slow it down. Make sure you're not putting too much wear and tear on your body. And if you're getting, a little bit sick, I think that's a big problem with him. He would get a little bit sick, but he would just push through and continue to train. And all of a sudden, he's like super sick. So I think that was a big issue with him. But the hope is, at least at this point, that it slows down, that he slows down a little bit and trains a little bit smarter as opposed to just training like a maniac. I like your latest video. I've recently shared. I'm following, but enjoyed it so far. Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that, Joshua. Obviously, really nice to see new guys finding out the channel and everything. And as I said, I'm going to try to pump out as many videos as I can. I know I've seen you a bunch of times already on live streams, Joshua, so I really do appreciate it. But yeah, just trying to build a little bit of community here. Obviously, I know not too many subscribers yet, but listen, we're building. I'm doing what I can, putting together live streams and doing videos and stuff like that. But yeah. Let's see. Gotta go. Peace out, bro. Thanks for joining the live stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And I really appreciate your questions and comments as well. Seriously, thanks so much. Um, but yeah, I mean, actually, you know what we can do here? I know what we can do. Let's do. Actually, I have a few ideas. Let's do a tier list, and we'll do this in. Um, we'll do this with the chat. Let's see. Let's make a tier list. Let's do this. Let's make a tier list on UFC champions, and let's see where we put all these guys. There we go. There we go. I just need to bear with me for a second. I just need to load in. Now all of a sudden my computer's not working. There we go. I just need to load in some photos of these guys. Let's see. Let's go with DDP. All right, so we got Trickus. Now let's go to Pantoja. Sorry, bro. I'm just trying to put together a tier list on best UFC fighter or best UFC champions. Now let's go to Marab. Let's just quickly. Then we got Volkanovski. Let's get that loaded in. Let's do Volk. Then 155. We don't really have a champion. I guess technically it's Islam. All right, we'll throw him in. Islam. Then 170, we got JDM. JDM. And then we have Uncle Live. No, not Uncle Live. What am I talking about? Then we have DDP, which I already did. Then we have Uncle Live. And then we have John Jones. John. Let's just load that in. I'm almost finished, boys. Just 1 second. Let's go with John. There we go. Where are you from? I'm from New York. Where are you from, Joshua? I think you said you're from Texas, I believe. But yeah, so let's go. Oh, we got something from here. Let's see. All right. Let's go here. All right. Let's load these in. Just 1 second. Boom. Oh well. Sorry. It's taking a little longer than I thought. Almost there. Almost there. John. This is for men's divisions, by the way. Am I forgetting anyone? There we go. I'm forgetting 2 people. Boom. Boom. Yep, for salmon is so damn hot here. Yeah, I can imagine South Texas. Yeah. Um, yeah, next week well, New York has been like raining so much, honestly, but next week is like 100 degrees almost every day, so that's kind of crazy. Pretty hot, but I can imagine in South Texas it's like really hot. But here we go. So we got a tier list. All the champions loaded in, unless I'm forgetting someone, which I don't think so. Let's put this in order just to make sure. Boom, boom. Volk, then Islam, technically. Then Jack Della, then DP, Uncle Live, John Jones. There you go. All right. Let's start with Pantoja. I know Joshua, you're a big fan of him. I am too. I think I'll put him in A tier. That's my opinion. Tom, yeah, I could throw Tom in there too. Yeah, I'll throw Tom in there. Good call out. Let's go. Beautiful picture of Tom. Beautiful picture. Let's go, Tom. We'll throw that in there. Tom. There we go. All right, that works out too. All right, so yes, Pantoja is an A tier for me. But don't mind S tier. I'm gonna do a little bit different. I'm gonna do. Well, yeah, okay. Actually, never mind. So yes, I'll have Pantoja in A tier for me. Marab, also A tier for me. Both of these guys could definitely be an S tier. I just don't want to put everyone in S tier. Volk is in B tier for me. I would probably put him higher. The only problem is, I don't know. He did lose to Ilya. Do I not have? Oh, I don't have Ilya. Well, he's not the champion. Yeah. I would put Ilya S tier, but he's not in a champion. But he could be, in about a week. So we'll see what happens in that one. But yeah, okay. So Volkanovski in B tier, Islam S tier. It's got to be. JDM, I would say B tier as well. Is this a controversial one? I'm considering put DDP in S tier. Might be a controversial one though. I'm considering it. All right, let's get back to DDP. I'm not sure. Uncle Live, I will say C. No, I can't do C. Can I? C tier. I mean, the division stinks, but Uncle Live is pretty good though. C tier. For now, I'm gonna put him in. John, I'm gonna put D tier. Not because he sucks. John Jones does not suck. Just he doesn't fight. So what are we gonna do with that? And also, I think he loses to Tom. And Tom, I mean, I know he's not a champion right now, but if he was, honestly, I think A tier. Well, B tier. I would say B tier for Tom right now. But if he's able to get some more fights under his belt, then A tier. I mean, I think he beats everyone at heavyweight. The problem with Tom is there's not too many guys at heavyweight. That's really going to push him forward. Like Pantoja beat everybody already. If Tom beats everyone the same way as Pantoja's beating everyone, it'll be an S tier. But at least at this point, he hasn't done it yet. Not saying that he can't do it. I think he actually will. But at this point, he hasn't done it yet. So I think I lean B tier for him based on that fact. And then we still have Drickus. I'm going to put him in S tier, honestly. Yeah, that's kind of how I see the UFC right now. And as I said, if Ilya was there, I'd have him in S tier as well. This is kind of how I see it. Let me know what you guys think if you guys disagree or anything like that. But yeah, John being in D tier is solely based on the fact that he doesn't fight. But in terms of skill for skill, he's very good. Skill. Okay. If John did fight, I would say B tier. I would say B tier. Current champions, not all-time achievements or anything. All-time achievements, I think John Jones is the greatest fighter ever. But current achievements, I would say B. Or current, like how good he is currently. I would say B tier. Joshua says I would have to agree, but Merab over Pantoja and Drick is B tier. Drick it. Sorry, what did you say? I have to agree, but Merab over Pantoja. Merab over Pantoja. Yeah, I'll agree. I guess Merab over Pantoja, like they're both within A tier, but Merab's a little bit higher, and you would have Drickus in B tier. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. Just listen, the thing with Drickus, he just fights like really funny, but I think he's actually really good. I'll put it this way: if okay, this is how I will do it. I'll do it like this. I'll put him in A tier. I have Drickus in A tier, but if he beats Hamzat, I would put him in S. Oh, A tier for Drickus. Yeah. Honestly, I think you're right. He might not be an S tier fighter yet. This is how I would have it. But a lot of these guys are booked for fights. So Drickus already, as I said, has a fight against Hamzat. If he beats him, I think he's an S tier. Merab does not have a fight yet. Well, we know who he's going to fight, but it's not booked or anything yet. It's going to be Corey Sandhagen. If he wins that fight, he stays at A tier. I don't think a win over Corey is like some huge win. It's a good win. It's another title defense on his record and another guy he beat on his record. Merab's the guy that Merab's beaten has just honestly been insane. But yeah, I think he would stay in A tier. If Pantoja beats KKF, kind of similarly, it's unfortunate because Pantoja has so many wins under his belt. Problem with Pantoja is some of these guys that first of all, he fights at 125, so he doesn't get the respect that he probably deserves. But also, a win over KKF is not like a huge win, at least in my opinion. So I think if he wins, he'll stay in A tier. But I'm actually giving him a lot more credit than most people do. A lot of people would put Pantoja in like C tier or something. But I think he's severely underrated. I agree. Drickus can move to S tier with a win over Hamzat. Yeah, I think he would. I mean, that's an amazing win. Hamzat has been a guy who's just dominated everybody. Even Whitaker, it's like Whitaker has been a guy who had a lot of success in middleweight. Yes, he lost to Izzy a couple times, but outside of that, he's had a lot of success. And one of his biggest things is stopping the takedown. And if Hamzat's main ability is going for takedowns, so and the fact that he has such an amazing shot, so going into that fight, going into that fight and finishing Whitaker in the first round, after beating Whitaker the way he did, it's like, this guy is super dominant. Who's going to beat this guy? I think Drickus is actually going to beat Hamzat, but yeah, if he is able to beat Hamzat, it's an amazing win. Merab or Pantoja move up with a win against each other. Yeah, that's what I want to see. I mean, I've been saying that for a little bit. I'll probably actually put out a video touching upon that a little bit, breaking that fight down. But I really want to see that fight happen. It's as I touched upon a little bit before, it's like, the casuals fans, they get a Conor McGregor fight. That's the fight they want. Or maybe a Sean O'Malley fight, lesser extent, obviously, but maybe a Sean O'Malley fight versus Merab. And it's like, all right, the casuals are excited about that. But for hardcores, Merab versus Pantoja is like, that's the fight, man. It's a really exciting fight. Both of these guys have been super dominant. Merab has obviously a lot less title defenses. Merab has, so he beat Sean the first time. Then he beat, so he has 2 title defenses. He beat Sean, 1 title defense against Sean, and 1 title defense against Umar. So 2 title defenses. Pantoja has 3, I believe, and he's going for his 4th. Also, another crazy thing to think about. A lot of these times you talk about guys who you think are super, super dominant, and they've been champions for so long or whatever. Then you look at their record and they got like 2 title defenses. Nothing wrong with that. I mean, these guys are really good. Even getting 1 title defense or even becoming champion is a really successful accomplishment. But it's kind of crazy to think about some of these guys in the past that got like 11 title defenses or, something ridiculous. When Aldo was on his run, or even Silva when he was on his run, Anderson Silva, these guys were putting together a crazy amount of title defenses. But obviously the game has changed. Guys have gotten significantly better. So it's really hard to do something like that. We had a few guys that I personally thought might be able to, put together a bunch of title defenses like Kamaru Usman, but one kick changed it all. And yeah, I mean, he might honestly get another title shot. I think his next fight should be Bilal, and I think he'll beat Bilal. So if he does that, he'll definitely get a title shot after it. And what a story for Kamaru Usman. Getting head kicked, everyone writing him off, and he's like 37, 38, and him getting another title shot and maybe even winning. That would be honestly insane. Merab and Pantoja both have a difficult path to the title. Yeah, but both of them did. They had to fight so many times. And then you look at a Sean O'Malley in Merab's division, even who fought, unranked guys. He finally fought a ranked guy in Pedro Munoz. Went to a draw, or not draw, no contest, eye poke. Then after that, he gets the number one contender in Peter Yan. Beats him technically. I mean, listen, I know a lot of people are mad that Sean won that fight, and there's like no chance that Sean won that fight against Jan. I actually think there's an argument for it, although I personally think Jan won the fight, but I think there's an argument to Sean winning that. But regardless, he gets, arguably a lucky win, I guess. A fight that he probably should have lost. He got the win, the nod from the judges, and then after that, he gets a title shot, and he lands a shot on Aljo and gets the title. But as you said, Joshua, for Merab, I mean, the thing with Merab is he had to fight a lot of guys, but also he was friends with Aljamain, and Aljamain was the champion at the time. That definitely he definitely had to fight like one or two extra fights when he probably would have got a title shot already, just because he didn't want to fight Aljo. But when Aljo lost the belt, it opened things up, and Merab was then able to fight for the belt. And yeah, but regardless, when you look at his career, he has had to fight a lot of guys. So yeah, it's definitely interesting to see how it goes. And then for Pantoja also had to fight a lot of guys. So let's actually go through it. Let's go Junior Tafa. Pantoja. Let's see his run to the title. So he lost to Aliskerov. When did he start putting his win streak together? I believe it's here. So he beat Manel Kopp, great win. He beat Roval, great win. He beat Alex Perez, decent win. Then he beat Roval again. Then he beat Moreno for the belt. Yeah, so he had to put a bunch of wins together. And even before that, obviously, he fought a bunch of guys. But yeah, it was really nice seeing Pantoja getting a title shot and him actually getting the belt. That was really cool to see. But yeah, I think I feel good about this list. Maybe I would do this. No, I couldn't do that. I was thinking of doing that, but no, I think if JDM beats Islam, he moves to A tier. I would say. I mean, that's an amazing win. Volkanovski. I love Volkanovski. The only thing about him is, yes, he did just not too long ago get knocked out and lost to Ilya. There's just something in my mind that says, like, I don't know how much longer this guy can keep going. I mean, he's been at such a high level for so long, and he's only getting older. It's like, how much longer can he go? That's the reason I have him in B tier. But skill for skill, this guy is honestly S tier. But yeah, so JDM, I think he can move up if he beats Islam. For Tom, we just don't know who he's fighting or when he's fighting. If I had to guess, I think he's fighting Surreal Gone next. Not an exciting fight, at least for me. I mean, listen, I'm sure it'll be exciting to see Tom Aspinall fight again, and Tom Aspinall fights are always exciting. But when you go from Tom Aspinall versus John Jones to Tom Aspinall versus Surreal Gone, the excitement level is not there, at least at the same level. So we'll see what happens with Aspinall on that one. And then maybe I'm disrespecting Uncle Live a little bit. I mean, he put a bunch of wins together, but it's just his weight class is not great, and he didn't even beat the way he beat Pereira was obviously he definitely won the fight, but it's not like he stopped him early or was like super dominant or anything. So that's why I have him at C tier. But if he rematches Pereira and finishes him, maybe he can move up to B tier. He does have skill. I'm not gonna say no. And then for John Jones, I said he's retired. But if John Jones theoretically fought Tom Aspinall and won, I think he retires after that. I mean, what else is left for him to do? But theoretically, if he did that, he would instantly go to A tier, I think. Honestly, possibly S, probably A though. Depends how he does it. If he is super dominant over Tom Aspinall, then maybe S tier. But but it's not even worth talking about because he's not going to fight Tom Aspinall, obviously. So yeah, that's my list. I feel pretty good about it. Um, should we do more tier lists? You guys have any other ideas about any tier list that you'll need to make? The other thing that I wanted to check upon is FanDuel. I wanted to check upon some if props are out. Let's see. Joshua says, "How about Dennis saying if Mozart wins, who most likely?" I mean, he better get Volk. If he wins and he doesn't get Volk next, I don't even know what to say. Or if at least he doesn't get a title shot next, if they decide to go with someone else before him, even then it's crazy. But yeah, I really don't know what Mozart needs to do at this point. I mean, how many more guys does he have to fight and beat? Especially if he beats Pico. I mean, come on, give the guy a title shot already. But we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I just wanted to check props. Yes, here we go. Props are out, and this line closed from yesterday. We just saw it yesterday. Roundtree was a -140. I thought it was good value at -140, so I definitely think it's good value at -125. So that's interesting. It's interesting to see it's closing up. Roundtree by KO at +140 is horrible value. I would not touch that. Roundtree by points at +6. This might be a play, to be honest. This might be a play. I don't know if you guys are interested in betting. I'm just taking a look quickly. Some value. The Bahamondes line. No, I think this is the same. This is the same. Bahamondes by KO, and that's points. Bahamondes by KO's +550. I like that value. I like that value. What else we got? Curtis Blades. Let's see. Blades by KO. What do we got? Oh, that's terrible. +135. That's not very good. Even Blades by points is not very good at +220. Or by line closed up a bit, I believe. It's a little closer now. So, this is what I want to see. Sadikov KO +120. That's not very good. I'm Avant-Garde. I think those are the only things that I wanted to talk about or look at. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are interested in betting, but just in case you are, I like Khalil Roundtree money line. I like Bahamondes money line. I also like Roundtree via points, and I like Bahamondes via KO. Good value in both, I think. Blades is a parlay piece, maybe, but not straight up. Or by, I wouldn't take it at that number. And yeah, that's really it. Outside of that, maybe you take a look. The line actually got closer from yesterday. Maybe you take a shot at Muhammad Usman at +138, but it's not very good. Anyways, just wanted to look at those quickly. Let's full screen this again. What's up, boys? But yeah, so I mean, some value on this next card if you guys are interested, betting wise. But yeah, Joshua, I don't really know what Mozart needs to do. I would assume if he wins this fight, the UFC is finally going to give him a title shot because how can they not? But I guess who knows? I thought after he beat Aljo, he would have got a title shot off that, but I guess wasn't to be. Aljo's also another interesting guy. He's pretty good. I wonder. I know he doesn't have a fight upcoming. At least I don't think he does, unless he does have a fight booked. Let me know if you guys know that. If he does have a fight booked, but actually, I guess I can. Aljo main. Let's see. Does he have a fight booked? I doubt it. No, I don't think so. But he's also an interesting one. I think he's good. He's got a lot of skill. On the feet, he kind of just stays away, and on the ground, he He's very good. Amazing jiu-jitsu and pretty good wrestling as well. I thought his fight versus Mosar was really entertaining. Both of those guys are really good. I thought Aljo was winning. He kind of blew it in the end. Rumors are Aljo versus Arnold Allen. That's a good one, actually. Um, yeah, I don't think Aljo's too far, honestly. The UFC doesn't like Aljo. That's a problem. But I don't think he's too far from a title shot. Maybe 2 more wins, and he'll get a title shot. But as I said, the problem is the UFC doesn't really like him. Uh, Maybe because of his personality, or maybe because of his fighting style. Definitely because of his fighting style, but maybe also because of other things outside of that. Um, but if he beats Arnold Allen, that's a real win. He'll probably fight one more guy and maybe gets a title shot at that point. Um, so that's definitely an interesting one. Who else? Let's see, what do we got here? Who are some guys that we haven't talked about? KKF. I mean, his fight's coming up. Listen, KKF is good. I think I underrate him even a little bit. But the problem with KKF is I don't think he's like that good, to be honest. On the feet, he has a ton of power. He has a big right hand, even decent left hook. And in terms of his takedown defense, it is really good. I will say it is pretty underrated. But I think Pantoja is just too good. So I don't think we're going to see KKF winning unless he lands one shot. We're not going to see KKF winning a decision. That I will guarantee. And if we do, I don't know what I'm watching, because I just think Pantoja is like better everywhere, essentially. I mean, maybe on the feet, the danger level is higher, of course, with KKF. He does have a lot of power, but if the fight gets to the ground, I think honestly, relatively easy submission for Pantoja. But yeah, so that's interesting. Brendan Moreno, where's Brendan Moreno? I don't think. Well, he definitely doesn't have a fight booked. I don't know if there's any rumors about him fighting anybody. But yeah, I don't know. We could do a tier list of. All right, let's put together some tier lists. We can do of prospects, best prospects. Let's put this together. All right, this might take me a little second. Just bear with me. Let's do. All right, that's good. We'll do that. We'll throw him in. And if you guys have any suggestions for any prospects, let me know. I'll throw them on the list. Let's see. Actually, wait 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second, boys. Sorry. I'm back, boys. Of Halos. Yes, Kevin is very good, actually. Actually, I should make a video about him. He's good. I think he's already good, but I think he's going to be really good in the future as well. Let's see. Anybody else? Let's see. Let's go through the rankings. Well, these are ranked guys already, I guess, but let's see. So I have Josh Van already on there. I think he's probably the best. I got Vinicius Oliveira. I'm a big fan of him. I got Kevin on there. Uh, Vallejos. But yeah, he's good. Who else? I think Gene Silva's too good at this point to be considered a prospect. Well, maybe. I don't know. He probably is, but I'm gonna throw him on there. Why not? Let's go with Gene Silva. Little Gene Silva. What else? Ooh. Oh, this is gonna be an interesting one. What about? This is an interesting one. What about Montel Jackson? He's a pretty good prospect. The only thing about Montel, he just doesn't fight. Actually, I don't even know if he's a prospect. But I'll throw him on there. Let's go Montel. What else? What else we got? Monsamuto, Wellmaker, and Loner Kavanaugh. Those are all great ones. I'm throwing all those on. Good call. Monsamuto. He's very good. Let's see. Okay. Now we got Wellmaker. He's a good prospect. It's crazy. He's 31, I think, or 32. I think 31. It's kind of crazy, but he is a prospect. Terrence Finney. Yeah, why not? Finally made the UFC. All right, this is going to be one hell of a tier list. Leonard Kavanaugh's like ridiculously good. Kavanaugh. Man, I don't have great pictures here. Loner, and then we got we'll throw Terrence Finney. Or Torres Finney, whatever. And we got a bunch of guys already. Let me just double check through the rankings, see if we got anyone else. Benoit is not a prospect. Joel Alvarez. Would you consider Joel Alvarez a prospect? Maybe. But I think he might be a little bit above a prospect. Prates, would you consider Prates a prospect? Carlos Prates? I mean, no, I don't think I can, just because he already fought number 6 ranked guy Ian Gary. I don't think I can. No one there. Definitely no one at 205. At heavyweight, all right, this is going to be the last guy. I'm going to throw a Taliesin in there. I think Taliesin is a good one. All right, this is going to be some hell of a tier list. Now I'm going to have to put all these guys in. All right. Now let's remove all these guys. How do I do that? I reset. There we go. All right. Just bear with me for a second. Sorry. All right, first guy, Finney. Look at that. By the way, you guys think Finney's going to win his next fight? I believe he has a fight booked. I don't remember who it is. I can take a look in a second. It's kind of ridiculous. I don't know why I have Gene Silva on this list. I think he's too good to be considered a prospect. It's definitely too good to be considered a prospect, but he's here. Ah, shoot. All right, definitely got a lot of names. Definitely got a lot of names. Okay, there we go. All right, let's pull this up. Here we go. Oh wait, no. I gotta put on loaner because the other picture didn't work. I don't know. What picture's gonna work? Is this gonna work? It's fine. Let's add that. There we go. Okay. Finney versus Asuma. Oh, that is his next fight. I don't know what to think about that, to be honest. I don't know. I mean, Finney's like really strong, and he has good wrestling, I guess. But he just doesn't have the ability to hurt guys at all on the feet and even on the ground. Like he just holds them there, and he doesn't know what to do. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, Usman like got takedowns early on in his career and didn't do too much damage, and they were kind of boring fights. But at least he kind of had like a process of what he wanted to do. But for Finney, it's just like he's super. I mean, I don't know, super athletic, pretty athletic, and super powerful. He gets guys to the ground, but once it's there, it's like he doesn't know what to do. It's like, all right, I'm just gonna lay on top of you. Yeah, you think Finney loses? I agree. He just doesn't have much. I don't know. There's just not that much. All right, so there might be more guys. If you guys have any other suggestions, definitely let me know. But these are the guys we have right now. So we're just talking about Finney. I don't know, probably D, to be honest. Like, there's not much there with Finney. So I'll keep him in D tier. This one I think is unfair. He probably shouldn't be here, but yes, on this list he's S tier. At least I think so. I think this guy's going to be a champion. I really do. I just hope by the time Silva gets that title shot, Volkanovski's not the champion, because I think that could be a bad fight for Volkanovski. I think he could get knocked out, unfortunately. But we'll keep him in S tier for now, but I don't even know if he belongs on this list. Kevin, I mean, he hasn't fought too much, but skill for skill, he's very skillful. I mean, he fought Gene Silva to a decision. He actually probably had the most success against Silva against anybody that Silva has fought yet. A tier, maybe A tier. Mansa Musa, B. I think I lean B tier, possibly. If you guys don't agree, let me know. I think I'm gonna leave him with B. Montel Jackson is an interesting one. I don't know. Is he even in prospect? How long has Montel been fighting? Let's see. I might be completely off here. I might have fought a bunch of times. Yeah, I am completely off. This is the problem. Yeah, I can't believe I even put them on this list. What's the problem? He started fighting with the company in 2018. In 2018, he fought Ricky Simone, he lost. Then he fought Kelleher, he won. All right, so he fought twice in 2018. I guess technically 3 times with Contender. 2019, he fought once and won. 2020, he fought twice, 1-1 in 2020. 2021, he fought twice. 2022, he fought once. 2023, he fought once. 2024, he fought once. That's a problem with him. He just doesn't fight all that much. He's definitely not a prospect. But he doesn't fight all that much. But he is really good. There's a lot to like with Montel. I messed up. He shouldn't be on this list. He's not a prospect, but he just doesn't fight. That's why I thought he may have been. Taliesin, C tier for now, just because he's at heavyweight. But with that being said, he might be B tier, maybe B tier. But well, actually, I don't know. It's not C tier. It's C tier. The thing with Taliesin though is I think he actually could be a contender at heavyweight, but only because it's at heavyweight. He has a lot of power, but I just think heavyweight is so bad. That's why I consider him like a guy who could be a real contender at heavyweight. Is Pico still considered a prospect? Oh, Ruffy. I can't believe I forgot about Rufi. Pico, probably not Pico. I mean, I could throw him on the list. But Rufi definitely. Marco, Rufi, whatever his name is. Let's see. This will work. That's a great call. Let's quickly add Rufi to the list. Where are you, Rufi? There you are. Yeah, Rufi. I might have to readjust this list, to be honest. Oh, well, Pico. Yeah, you said Pico. I'll throw Pico on the list. All right, let's see. Aaron Pico. Yeah, this is good. We got a bunch of guys here. This is good. All right. Okay, so let's go with Rufi. Honestly, I think these like champions was relatively easy to figure out what guys are in what tier. I think prospects is really tough, to be honest. Rufi, I think, is A tier. I don't know. There is an obvious deficiency with Rufi, though, is gas tank. But in terms of his actual fighting ability, it's there. There's a lot to like about Rufi's game. As I said, just the issue with him is his gas tank. And once he's fighting for the title, if he ever does, or even fighting in main events in the Apex, or probably not going to fight in the Apex, but if he's fighting main events of a fight night card or something where he's fighting 5 rounds, that's definitely something to think about with Rufi. If he's not able to knock out his opponent, his cardio is an issue. But I think skill for skill, this guy is probably an A tier fighter. It's just the gas tank is a thing. No, Joshua Van. I think I have him in A tier as well. Oh man, this is actually really tough. I'm gonna be honest. A tier. I mean, he's got to be above Rufi, right? Because if he's fighting the number 1 contender, and if he beats him, he's gonna fight for the belt. Okay, I'll keep him in A tier. I'm probably gonna make changes to this. I'm just doing like a quick overview, and I'll make changes. Wellmaker hasn't been tested that much, but he looks good. I'll say B tier behind. He could move up though. He looked good, but he has a huge left hand. Kavanaugh, I think Kavanaugh's really good. I would say, is that crazy to put him in A tier ahead of all those guys? I don't know. He's just really good. There's a lot to like. On the feet, he's an amazing striker. On the ground, he has good wrestling. There's a lot to like. But so does Kevin. Kevin has also a lot of power, probably more power. Maybe I'll do that. Montel shouldn't be on this list. Pico is really good too. Is Pico in A tier as well? All right. This is my tentative list. I'm not super happy with it though. Some of these guys shouldn't even be here. All right. Well, if Montel Jackson was a prospect, I would put him at B. I would put him at B tier, probably there. Just because he has so much skill. On the feet, he's really good, and on the ground, he has a lot of skill too. But Montel is not a prospect at all. Yeah, this is my tentative list, but Gene Silva's probably not a prospect at this point. Maybe is, but probably not. Um, and Pico may or may not be a prospect. Montel is definitely not a prospect, but yeah, all right, fine. Some of these other guys are good. This is my tentative list. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't feel great about it, to be honest. There's probably some other prospects that I'm missing. The problem with this is there a way to see like the entire? Oh wait, you just answered my own question. I was gonna say, is there a way to see the entire pool of fighters instead of just ranked guys? Division rankings, view athletes, I guess. Oh yeah, this is what I want. But now we're just. Is it one by one? The hell's going? It's not even work. There's almost 3,000 athletes. I can only see Hamdi. It's just not working, I guess. All right. Well, what I wanted to see was if I was able to find a pool of all the UFC fighters. I think that's where I should go, but it's just not working, I guess. Whatever, though. Yeah, I don't think I'll make any changes. I think this is my prospect list at this point. There's I think you're pretty close. It's hard to rank potential. Yeah, it is hard to rank potential. We'll see. But off this list, guys who I think are actually going to be good, and when I say actually be good, like top 5 guys, Kevin, I believe he'll be a top 5 guy. Loner Kavanagh, I also think he'll be a top 5 guy. Joshua Van is like almost there. Even if he loses to Royval, there's a chance he still moves up in the rankings. He's what, number 11? He is number 11. So yeah, he might still move up even if he loses, depending on how the fight looks against Royval. But regardless, I think he's going to be a top 5 guy. Rufy, I do as well, skill for skill. I just have that question mark about his gas tank. And if he goes up against a guy who looks to wrestle him a lot, I think he can stop takedowns. But is it going to tire him out once you get to the second round or third round or fourth round or fifth round if you're in a 5-rounder? That's my concerns with him. With Pico, I think there's a lot to like. Good wrestling and even pretty good striking, a lot of power as well. Yeah, I mean, he's also almost like a top 5 guy already. He's fighting Mosar. So if he wins, he's going to be a top 5 guy already. So I definitely think he can be a top 5. Montel, I don't believe so. Masumoto, I think I'll say top 10 for him. Where do you think Bexat ranks? I'm blanking out. Let me see his face. Bexat. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. He is also pretty good. He almost finished Umar. I think there's a lot of skill to him. Actually, where do I think he ranks? Let's see, 135. Is he better than Vinicius? Probably. Is he better than Montel? Probably. Is he better than McGee? Probably. Phillips, definitely. Sahabi, definitely. Cejudo is probably too old. Cejudo should retire, by the way. Is he better than Batista? Batista is so underrated. I know a lot of people hate him, but he's really good. Better than Fun, yeah. To answer your question, where does he rank? I think he ranks. He's a top 5, let's say top 7 guy. That's where I see him. Top 7 guy. A lot of power, good wrestling. Top 7 guy. And could get better. I think he could be good for sure. Just a problem with him is it seems like he can't get fights. Where was I? Yeah, here. So so Pico I went over, Montel went over. So for Wellmaker, I think he's really good. He has an insane amount of power, especially for 135. We'll see how his power fares once he moves up those rankings. But I think he's going to be good. I'll say for Wellmaker, I'll say top 8 guy, but definitely a potential to get better. and become a top 5 guy, or maybe even contend for a title. And who knows, maybe he could even win. The power that he has is so legit. The question that I have is just we haven't seen too much more from, like, we haven't seen him test it all that much. So that's my question. That's the reason why I'm saying top 8 guy for Wellmaker. For Teixeira, I talked about this a little bit before. I think he could actually be a top 5 guy. Not that I think he's so good, but just because he has a lot of power, he has great wingspan, and heavyweight sucks. So because of those factors, I think Teixeira could be top 5. And Finney, I don't think he's going to be ranked. I don't think he's going to be in the UFC too long, unfortunately. But yeah, that's what I see with those guys. Let's pop up full screen. Um, but yeah, that's what I say. It's kind of crazy. Whenever I live stream and I'm just talking to the boys or whatever, I just look up. All of a sudden, I'm streaming for almost 2 hours. It's been an hour and 50 minutes. It just time is really flying by. It's really fun, just getting on here and live streaming, talking to the boys. It's been a really really good time, to be honest. So thank you guys once again for being here. For the guys, for Joshua, I guess, who's in chat or whatever. But even for anybody else that's here, just for watching along. Really, really do appreciate it. Um, but yeah, what else we got here? But yeah, that's for prospects. Any other tier lists? Tier lists are fun, I guess, but I don't know. Let's think. Let's see. Let's go super far out. Any fights that we haven't talked about? Actually, so Amir Albazi has a fight already booked against Tatsuro Taira. It's an interesting one. It's honestly kind of high on Tatsuro Taira. But his last performance wasn't great. It was against Royval. It wasn't great. But I think Taira's still really good. He has really good wrestling, and his jiu-jitsu is really good against Albazi, who also had a bad performance in his last fight against Brandon Moreno. I lean Taira in that fight. I can't believe I forgot about this. A prospect. This is another prospect. Andre Lima. I think Andre Lima is a real prospect, and I think he's really good at flyweight. Decent amount of power. Really, really good kickboxing. The thing about Andre Lima, though, is he's improving. Every fight that we see him, he's improving. His takedown defense is really good, but now we're even seeing him offensively wrestle. So that's something new that he's adding to his game. 11-0. Couple wins in the UFC already. Really good fighter, Andre Lima. Definitely mark that. I'll probably make a video on him coming out soon in a little bit more detail. But yeah, Andre Lima's good. What else we got? This seems like a odd fight. Anthony Hernandez versus Roman Dolidze. Dolidze has definitely gotten better. I will say that. But he gasses out in a lot of his fights, and you're putting him up against Anthony Hernandez, who gasses everyone out essentially. That's an interesting one. I definitely would lead with Anthony Hernandez in that fight. Steve Erceg versus Alex Perez should be a win for Steve Erceg. He should get a win here. I'm a big Steve Erceg fan. I always thought, he's like championship contender or championship level. I know he lost a couple of times. He lost to Moreno. He lost to Pantoja, and he even lost to KKF. But I still think he is championship level. On the feet, just the combos that he's able to put together is really fun to watch. He's just really good. I think he just fought some of the best. Moreno and Pantoja are like two of the best fighters at 125 probably ever. And with KKF, I think Steve Erceg is better than KKF, but I think he just ran into a huge shot. And as I touched upon before, KKF is a guy that has a lot of power. So if he's able to land on you, that's it. And I think that's what we saw a little bit in that fight between Erceg and him. UFC 319. Obviously, we have the Trickus fight that we talked about already. Cannonier versus MVP. We touched upon that a little bit. I lean Cannonier, though. Mirror Shark and Olajaychik. That's a weird fight. I lean Mirror Shark though. Jakar Close and Edson Barbosa. Barbosa is like a million years old, but he's on ridiculous juice lately, so I think he could win. So they put him on rocket fuel. Bobby Green versus Diego Ferreira. That was just announced the other day. I think I would go Diego. Diego's a pretty underrated fighter in my opinion, but weird performance though in his last fight. Weird performance. Um, but I think I lean Diego. Bobby Green or King Green, he's good. He's just getting a little old and he's starting to get knocked out now. Um, so he's losing a little bit. Brian Battle versus Ruzabinov or whatever. I think Ruzaboyev is he's just like very physical. He hits really hard and his pressure and output get to a lot of guys, but I don't think he's actually like very good. I think Brian Battle has a chance to win that fight. I think Battle is actually pretty good, but his physicality is not amazing. It's kind of like an opposite. Skill, but not super physical, versus super physical, but not very skillful. So we'll see what comes out in the end. I think Brian Battle wins that fight, though. Kaya Sakura versus Tim Elliott. I think that the overcorrection is ridiculous on Kaya Sakura. He gets a title shot now. He's the number 15th ranked guy. A lot of people think Kaya is not any good because he got taken down and submitted by probably the best 125 pounder. I mean, maybe you say Figueiredo, but one of the best 125 pounders. Um, Honestly, Pantoja might be the best. But anyways, he gets taken down and submitted by Pantoja, and all of a sudden he's terrible. I mean, Pantoja is just the best. I think that's what people miss. So yeah, so I definitely would lean with Kaya Sakura to beat Tim Elliott in that one. Alexander Hernandez versus Chase Hooper. I lean Chase Hooper. He's not. I mean, his striking is getting better, and on the ground, his striking is getting a lot better, actually. I will say, and on the ground, this guy's really good. So I definitely would lean with Chase Hooper. Lupi Godinez versus Jessica Andrade. Similar thing. I think Lupi has decent skill, but isn't too physical. Andrade has not too much skill, but is super physical. So that's interesting. And yeah, that's the latest fight we have so far, or the latest that we go. So yeah. All right. Yeah, pretty good stream. I mean, we talked about ranked guys. We talked about prospects. We talked about champions, ranking champions. We talked about what else we talk about? Talk about some of the fights upcoming. We talked about Hamza. We talked about Finney. Finney got a shout out on this on the podcast, on this live stream. And yeah, I mean, if you guys have any other questions last second, let me know. But I think that's been a really good stream, boys. I really appreciated everyone for being here. Thank you again, Joshua, for being here. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and everybody else that's in the chat, messaging or not. I really appreciate you guys for being here. It's been fun. Definitely going to be live streaming a lot more. Check out for another live stream tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to live stream, but on Friday I should be live streaming, talking about maybe some bets, talking about pre-fight predictions for the Bakau card, and on Saturday I will be live streaming the Bakau event, the main card at least. I could do more if you guys want it, but definitely the main card at least. So yeah, 3 p.m. Eastern time for that. And if you guys want to watch along together on the live stream, the card, definitely be sure to join. But yeah, if you guys haven't already, check out that Joshua Van video that came out today. Another video coming out Friday, and also I'll see you on Friday on live stream. So yeah, anyways, it's been a really good stream and another 2-hour stream basically. We got less than 2 minutes. Let's wait. Let's get to 2 hours. But yeah, definitely good stuff. See you later, Joshua. I'm just trying to get to 2 hours here. We got less than a minute, but anyways, definitely been really, really fun. Really, really good time. These live streams have been honestly great. I'm so happy I started live streaming. It's just really fun. Talk about fights with you guys and all that. Um, but yeah. Anyways, let's take a little sip. Yeah. I know this is probably silly, but I'm just waiting for this timer to get to 2 hours. 14 seconds away, boys. 14 seconds. You guys have any other questions? Anybody that's in the chat right now? Quickly, 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 quickly. All right, we got it. Anyways, be sure to check out any of my videos. Be sure to tune into live stream on Friday, another video on Friday as well. Follow me on X if you haven't already. And yeah, anyways, it's been an amazing stream. Peace out, boys, and see you guys on Friday.